Hello everyone and welcome to this week's reading vlog. I thought we'd do something a little bit different today and take advantage of the fact that I live quite close to the location or the area where a lot of the book I want to read today is set. So I'm sure I've already given it away with the title and the thumbnail to this video, but I'm currently sitting in Holland Park in London, which is of course the home of Magnolia Parks. It's a book that I've been putting off reading for such a long time now because I know it talks about a lot of toxic relationships and it's very much like reality television, like car crash reality television, and I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't going to be for me. So I thought to give it its best chance and to enjoy the book, I'd come out into London and just spend the day walking around to all these different spots around like South Kensington and the Notting Hill area and just make a day of it and make it a bit more enjoyable, because I did start reading it last night and I'm now 50 pages in, and I can say that I think it is working, because just coming here this morning and just grabbing my matcha, grabbing a croissant and walking around Notting Hill and the park so far has really just felt like I am like immersed in the book and made it so much more enjoyable. So I'm currently sitting at one of the entrances to Kyoto Gardens and I think it might have been a mistake because it's really busy and it's taken me quite a while to film this intro just because people passing by enjoying the day. It's a lovely sunny warm day in London. The clouds are out but it's just enough to like be comfortable to walk about, so I think it's going to be quite busy here today because everyone's going to be out and about and enjoying the weather. But yeah, 50 pages in and the drama in this book, I knew that's what it was about. I knew that's what people loved about it, but that's what I thought wasn't going to be for me. I think I'm mistaken. I think I am really enjoying it. It is quite fun and quite dramatic, and I don't know what it is about it, but I just can't stop reading and I am really enjoying it. I think as well, the situation between Magnolia and BJ isn't really annoying me as much as I thought it would. Maybe it gets more intense as we start to find out like what really happened. At the moment, they're not as bad as each other, but they're kind of, it's just their characters, isn't it? And the way it's written, you just don't feel too bad. You feel bad, but not as bad as I was expecting to feel. And maybe that's going to change as we get like more into the book and we start to see more of the emotional side to it. But at the moment, I'm just living for the drama and enjoying it. And yeah, it has made quite a difference, like walking around Notting Hill this morning and being like sucked into the setting at the same time. So that's going to be my plan for today. I'm going to sit here. I've just got a croissant from Blank Street and I can't reach it, but there's a matcha next to you. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and read for about an hour and then probably make my way through Kyoto Gardens, have a little wander through there, and I think my plans are kind of like sit and read for an hour, wander about for like 30 minutes to an hour, and just kind of make my way through Holland Park, maybe around Notting Hill or head towards like Hyde Park. I'm not too sure yet, but that's the plan for the day. Just a very relaxed day reading Magnolia Parks while wandering around London. So I've just had another little walk around and ended up in this little spot here. It's so pretty just walking around Holland Park, and there's loads of little benches where you can just stop and read or just relax, have a moment to yourself or just wander around, and it has been really nice. The animals as well have been going a bit crazy. The crows were just surrounding me on that bench. There was a squirrel that was going nuts, a pigeon that just kept pecking my foot. I don't really know what's up with the animals in this park. There might be something in the trees or something, but yeah, they're all going a bit nuts. But it has been lovely walking around. I will say the Kyoto Gardens part of it is quite busy, and that seems to be where everyone sort of gravitates towards. So while it is really pretty there, it's just a bit busier and not really somewhere to like stop and take it all in. So yeah, I've just been having a nice time wandering around. I did also read a bit more of Magnolia Parks, and I think I can start to see how it's going to start to get more emotional and the sort of dramas that these high society people have. I'm still kind of rooting for Magnolia and BJ at this point. I feel like they're definitely toxic. It's definitely not realistic, but there's something about them and I'm all for it. And well, not all for it. They both need help, but I'm going into it just completely open-minded, and I've heard enough about it to expect it not to be realistic, to expect it to be toxic, and I'm just going in it to like enjoy the ride, and that's what I'm doing. And because I know what they're like from the offset, going into it I can just sort of have fun with it, and that's what I'm doing, and I think that's why I'm okay with them, I guess I'm trying to say. So I think I'm going to head out of Holland Park now. I forgot to mention that there's also a romance-only bookshop that's opened like nearby. I think it's about a 10-minute walk away. I might go and have a walk to that and have a little look around and then find a coffee shop and sit and read a bit more. So just still enjoying my casual reading day around London. So I'm now in Stanley Gardens, and it might be somewhere that you're familiar with from Instagram because it's like the spot that everyone comes to get their Instagram pics around like Notting Hill. There's a magnolia tree that's usually like in full bloom in spring, like at the top of this road here. Obviously it's not spring now, so it's not in bloom, but yeah, everyone comes here to get the pictures with that magnolia tree and these like white houses. I just think it's really fun that everyone comes here and everyone knows what everyone's doing, so I feel pretty safe standing here filming right now. So I did go to Saucy Books, and if you're in like the Notting Hill Portobello Road area, then I definitely recommend going to check it out because it's away from like the busy Portobello Road street, and I had to kind of like put my blinkers on and not stop at all like the shops that are along there and the busy streets, and just made a beeline for Saucy Books basically because I just knew I wanted to check it out and I didn't want to waste time like with all the busyness and everyone else around there like taking pictures with the Notting Hill door and the Notting Hill bookshop, and there's a Daunt Books there as well. There's so much you can do there, but I just wanted to go to this one bookshop, so that's what I did. It's a new indie bookshop as well, and it's a romance only bookshop, so it was nice to go there and support it. it, and it's so nice in there as well because it just felt like everyone in there was just like the booktube girlies, like the BookTok girlies, and they all had the same interest, and everyone was just chatting and recommending books to each other and being like, have you read this, have you read this? And it's just so nice in there and such a good vibe, so definitely recommend going to check it out. And I heard one of the girls working there say that they're going to switch it out seasonally, so at the moment it looks very much like a summer beach hut vibe, but come autumn winter I think they're going to change it up and make it a bit more cozy maybe, so I guess that just gives us an excuse to go back seasonally and see what they do and what books they have in. But let me show you which books I picked up quickly. So I only got 2 books because there wasn't actually any that I wanted to pick up, but I just thought while I'm in like a new bookshop, why not support them and buy a couple of books. So the first one I picked up was Ashley Poston's new release, which is Sounds Like Love. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I think it's like a couple who can keep hearing each other singing inside their head, and it like draws them to each other because Ashley Poston likes to put a lot of like magical realism in her romance books. So yeah, that's all I've heard about it, but it does sound like a fun one, and I really liked A Novel Love Story from her. 7 Year Slip I read during a 24-hour reading vlog, so I don't think I can give like a true review of that one because I just didn't read it at the best time, but I liked the first half before I got to like my delirious early morning delirium that happened when I was reading it. But yeah, so I picked up Sounds Like Love, and then the next one I picked up was Cara Bastone's release from last year I think, and it's her accidental pregnancy trope book, Friends to Lovers I think it is, and set in New York I think, and I'm going there this month, so if this is set in New York then it could be a good one for then. I read Promise Me Sunshine by her this year and loved it, so I thought I'd pick that up too. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have anything in mind, but I just thought why not support them, and I do really want to read both of these books as well. And then I also picked up, they had like stickers and bookmarks and pins, but yeah, I also picked up this little sticker as well that says I love saucy books because I thought that was really fun. If you're around this area then definitely go and check it out. But right now I haven't eaten. I had that croissant earlier, but I haven't eaten other than that, and I haven't done any reading, so this is a terrible reading vlog. But I think what I'm going to go and do is go and pitch up in a coffee shop somewhere and spend like a good 2 hours reading, recharging my phone battery, recharging this battery, and just recharging my own battery, and just have a nice couple of hours in a coffee shop doing some reading. I think I'm done for walking for today. I've done 8,600 steps and I was meant to be coming here just to do some reading, so yeah, I've definitely done more walking than I planned, but it's been nice, it's been a chill day, so yeah, let's go and find a good coffee shop. Good morning everyone. So it has been a week since I filmed my day in London, but I just wanted to come on here and finish up this video and give you my final thoughts on Magnolia Parks, because I did finish it this week and I definitely have some thoughts on it, so we will get to that. But it was just such a lovely day spent in London. I feel like I want to do that more often now because I just don't take advantage of the fact that I live so close to London and there are just so many nice areas to just wander about, look in little indie bookshops, find little spots to sit down and read for a bit, and not necessarily books that are set in London like Magnolia Parks, but just have those sort of days because I had a really good time. I did end up walking a lot more than I planned, but I feel like I also do that every time I go into London because everything's kind of so close together that I just think, oh, I'll just walk there and then I'll walk there and then I'll walk there, and before you know it you've been walking for hours and you've not really got anywhere. I also did make the mistake of having my phone set to the car settings on the maps, so when I said that the bookshop that I went to was 10 minutes away from Holland Park, it was actually a 30-minute walk. So that definitely played into the fact that I walked more than I read on that day, but I'd still do it again. It's definitely a nice way to spend the day, like going from Holland Park up to Portobello Road, and yeah, just looking around there. There's so much to see, so much to do. I just had a really good time. And then once I left Stanley Gardens, where I last spoke to you, I walked back down towards Notting Hill Gate and I grabbed a matcha at Kuro Coffee. It's a coffee shop that I've been to before and it's quite small. There's only like a little bench outside you can sit on or a small seating area upstairs. But the matcha there was so good. It was hand whisked to order. It was stronger than Blank Street. I really enjoyed the matcha there and just sitting outside and reading for a bit. And then I wandered over to Hyde Park and just spent the rest of the day sitting on the grass in Hyde Park, reading my book and people watching. Just as I'm like recalling the day now, I just had such a good time. If you do live near London or are planning to come to London, then I definitely recommend all the spots that I went to on this day because it was a really good time, and especially if you're a fan of Magnolia Parks. I do think that starting to read this in that setting really helped to my opinion of the book. So let's just get into what I thought of it. I've given it 4 stars. Let's start with that. I do think that reading the book in the setting helped with the rating, and I also think that the amount I knew about the book going into it really helped. It's a book about cheating. I feel like everyone knows that. It's very heavy on cheating. It's throughout the whole book. I don't feel like that's a subject that anyone's going to want to go into a book wanting to read about, so it really does help going into it with your expectations in the right place. And I feel like for me that really helped me enjoy the book a lot more because I went into it expecting the messy characters, expecting not to like the characters. I almost removed myself from them a bit, and it's just not like any other contemporary romance that I've read. With those books you kind of see yourself in characters and you try and relate to them and you kind of want their romance in a way. So with this one it was just so different to that. I'm going to put it down so it's not distracting, but yeah, with this one it's just so different to that because I went into it keeping myself on the outside, and maybe that's the way it's written as well because you're in Magnolia and BJ's point of view the whole time and they're talking directly to you, so maybe that keeps you on the outside purposely as well because you're not trying to relate to the characters, you're not trying to put yourself in their shoes, you're just watching it all play out, watching the messiness, watching the heartbreak, and I did kind of like it. I feel like for the first 80% I was just really enjoying it and really enjoying the messiness of it, just how like superficial they were, and it was all kind of surface level, a bit fun. I was giggling at times. It is a fun book as well. Yeah, I just had a good time. I can't describe it. I don't really know why. I just had a really good time. And then as we sort of got to the end of the book, my feelings changed. It just started to feel a lot less fun, and without those fun, silly aspects to it, it just wasn't a nice read. So it definitely helped that that was throughout most of the book, but towards the end of it, I just wasn't a big fan, and I kind of come away like not knowing if I wanted to continue. I will continue the series. I just have to see how it all unfolds and what happens between them. But then I know that the next book is also Daisy Hate's book, and I feel like her story could be much more enjoyable. And I think I've heard this as well, but she just comes across as more of a mature character, and the romance that we've started to see there is much newer and much fresher. And because Magnolia and BJ go back so far, everything's just wrapped up in so much other stuff that's happened. Whereas with Daisy Hates, I feel like everything could be a bit more fun and you could be a bit more understanding because everything's so new, maybe. I'm hoping, but yeah, I definitely want to read her book, and that's just going to spiral me into the rest of the series, isn't it? But I don't know, I'm not mad about it. I did have a good time, and I also heard that this book is likened a lot to Gossip Girl in London, and I do think that's the case, but I heard this and went into it expecting something different. The reason I think it's likened to that is because it's very much Chuck and Blair. So it's almost like if Gossip Girl was just from Chuck and Blair's point of view and their focus was only on each other. Gossip Girl obviously has so many other characters and so much else going on. Even within Chuck and Blair, there's more happening there as well. They do have like the high society friendship group around them, which I guess we might get more into as the series goes on, but it just didn't have a lot of the other elements that Gossip Girl has to it. But if you were a fan of Chuck and Blair there and you are rooting for them through everything that they went through, then you're probably one of the people that really likes Magnolia Parks or would really like Magnolia Parks. I'm also happy that I now know what it means when people talk about the bee emoji or the significance of bees in this book, and just a few of the famous lines like how's the weather Parks or how many loves do you get in a lifetime. It's just good to be able to know what people are talking about there. They talk about them a lot for good reason as well. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed coming into London with me and just having a look around and having a nice relaxing day. I'm definitely going to film more of these, so let me know if there's any areas in London that you'd like to see more of and see in this style of video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!